Let me tell you something that may surprise you. The English language has more than 170,000 words. Yes, more than 170,000. Now, be honest with yourself. When you hear this number, how do you feel? Maybe a little stressed, maybe a little overwhelmed, because deep inside, you may be thinking, how can I ever learn all of that? And the answer is simple. You don't. You don't need to learn 170,000 words. And that is exactly where most people get it wrong. They believe that fluency means knowing more and more vocabulary. So they keep memorizing and memorizing and memorizing. But even after learning many words, they still feel afraid to speak. Why? Because the problem is not the number of words. The problem is the way we learn. Now, here is the truth that can change everything for you. You can speak clear, natural, daily English with just 521 simple words. Yes, only 521, not thousands, not tens of thousands. Just a small group of words used in the right way. And today, that is exactly what we are going to explore together. First, we need to understand one very important truth. A truth that can change the way you see English forever. Why does English feel so difficult? Many people believe it is because they do not know enough words. They think, if I learn more vocabulary, I will speak better. But this is not true. And this belief is actually holding you back. The real problem is not vocabulary. The real problem is the way you are learning. But here is something most people do not know. Even native English speakers do not use all these words. In daily life, a normal person uses only about 2,000 to 3,000 words. And here is the surprising part. Most conversations use only a small group of simple words again and again. Words like come, do, make, take, and simple feelings like good, bad, happy, sad. These words are not difficult. You already know many of them. And yet, you still feel stuck. Why? Because speaking English is not about knowing more words. It is about using simple words again and again with confidence. Now think about this. When a child learns English, does the child study a dictionary? No. The child listens to simple words every day. The child repeats the same patterns again and again. That is how language is learned. Not by memorizing, but by using. Now, let me introduce something very powerful. These 521 words, they are called high-frequency words. This means they are used most of the time in real life. They include simple pronouns like I, you, he, and she. Basic verbs like go, come, eat, drink, work. Simple adjectives like good, bad, big, small, and daily nouns like time, food, home, money. With just these words, you can create thousands of sentences. For example, I go home. You go work. We go to the market. Same words, different meanings. Now, here is a very important idea. Fluency does not mean using big words. Fluency means speaking smoothly without stopping. And this happens when your brain feels safe. Your brain feels safe when the words are familiar. That is why using fewer words can actually help you speak better. Now think about your experience. When you try to use difficult words, what happens? You stop. You think too much. You feel nervous. But when you use simple words, everything changes. You speak faster. You feel more relaxed. You feel more confident. That is the power of these 521 words. They remove fear. They build confidence, and they help you start speaking. So remember this. English is not a test. English is a tool. You are not here to impress people. You are here to express your ideas. And you do not need many words to do that. 521 words are enough. And I will show you something even more powerful. How to use sentence patterns with these words. So you can speak hundreds of sentences easily. Now let us take a moment and understand the most powerful secret of speaking English. This is something many learners never realize, but once you understand it, everything becomes easier. This secret is called sentence patterns. Think about it like this. Sentence patterns are like roads, and words are like cars. If the road is clear and simple, the car can move smoothly. But if there's no road, the car cannot go anywhere. This is exactly how English works in real life. Many learners spend years collecting words. They try to learn more and more vocabulary every day. But when it is time to speak, they feel stuck. They know many words, but they cannot form a sentence. Why? Because they learned the words, but they did not learn how to use them. So now, listen carefully. You do not need many words to speak English well. What you really need is a few strong sentence patterns that you can use again and again. Let me show you some of the most useful patterns you can start using today. The first pattern is I want to. This pattern is simple but very powerful. With just this one sentence, you can express many ideas in your daily life. For example, you can say, I want to eat. I want to sleep. I want to learn English. I want to work. The pattern stays the same. Only the action changes. The second pattern is I need to. This is something we use almost every day. You can say, I need to go. I need to study. I need to rest. I need to call him. The third pattern is I am going to. This pattern helps you talk about the future. You can say, I am going to eat. I am going to work. I am going to learn English. The fourth pattern is I like to. This pattern helps you talk about your feelings and interests. You can say, I like to read. I like to talk. I like to learn English. And the fifth pattern is I have to. This pattern shows responsibility or something you must do. You can say, I have to work. I have to study. I have to wake up early. Now stop for a moment and think about this. With only 5 simple sentence patterns and a few basic verbs, you can already speak hundreds of sentences. This is the real magic of English. But why does this method work so well? The answer is simple. Your brain loves patterns. When your brain sees the same structure repeatedly, it automatically remembers it. You no longer need to stop and think. You just speak naturally. And this is what we call fluency. Fluency is not about speaking fast. Fluency is about speaking smoothly, without fear, without stopping too much. Now, here is a common mistake that many learners make. They spend a lot of time learning grammar rules. They read books. They study tenses, but they do not practice speaking. So grammar stays in the book, not in their mouth. But sentence patterns are different. They go directly into your speaking. This is why native speakers do not think about grammar rules when they speak. They simply use patterns that they have repeated many times before. Now imagine if you practice like this every day for just 10 minutes. Slowly, your mouth becomes stronger, your brain becomes faster, and your fear starts to disappear. This is exactly why the 5-2-1 word method works, because it focuses on repetition, and repetition builds confidence. Confidence builds fluency. So do not try to learn everything at once. Focus on simple patterns and use them again and again. In the next part, I will show you how to use these patterns in real life situations. In the morning, at work, at home, and when talking to people. Now, let us bring English into your real life, because English is not something you only study in books. English is something you use every day. Many learners spend years learning English, but they still cannot speak. Why? Because they study English, but they do not speak English. Today, we are going to change that. Take a moment, relax, and listen carefully. Your life is already full of English. You do not need special topics. You do not need difficult ideas. You already have everything you need. Your morning, your work, your home. The people around you, your feelings. These are your English topics. So let us start with something simple. Your morning. When you wake up, what do you feel? You can say, I wake up early, I feel tired, I need water, I want to rest. These are not big sentences, but they are real. And real English is powerful. Now think about your day. You go to work or you go to school. You can say, I go to work, I go to class, I feel busy, I feel stressed. Look at these sentences. They are simple, they repeat, but this is how fluency is built. Now, imagine you are talking to someone. You do not need a perfect English. You only need clear English. You can say, I need help. Can you help me? I want to ask something. I do not understand. These sentences are small, but they are very useful. They work in every situation. Now let us talk about something deeper. Your feelings. This is where many learners struggle. They know many words, but they cannot express how they feel. But with simple English, you can. You can say, I feel happy. I feel sad. I feel tired. I feel nervous. And when you say this, people understand you. This is communication. Many learners are afraid of the past tense. They think everything must be perfect. But listen carefully. Simple English still works. You can say, yesterday, I go to work. Yesterday, I feel tired. Is it perfect grammar? No. But is your message clear? Yes. And that is what matters. Now think about the future. You can say, tomorrow, I go to work. Tomorrow, I will study English. Again, simple. Again, clear. This is called survival English. And survival English is real fluency. Now, let me tell you something very important. People do not judge your grammar. They feel your confidence. When you speak with confidence, people listen, even if your English is simple. Now, let us take action. Here is your daily exercise. Choose one part of your life, morning, work, or home. Then speak 5 sentences about it, not in your head, out loud. Your mouth must move because speaking is a physical skill. The more you use your mouth, the stronger your speaking becomes. This is how fluency grows. Slowly, naturally, step by step. Now remember this clearly. You are not just learning English. You are training your mouth, your brain, and your confidence. And for that, 521 words are enough. Let us talk about something that truly changes everything practice. Because no matter how much you understand, if you do not use English, nothing will change. Many people watch videos every day. They feel motivated. They feel like they're improving. But when it is time to speak, they stay silent. Not because they are lazy, but because they are not training the right skill. Listening builds understanding, but speaking builds confidence. And confidence only comes from action. So instead of doing too much, let us make it simple. Choose a few words, create a few sentences, and speak them out loud. That is enough. Do not try to learn everything at once. Do not try to be perfect. Just repeat what is simple until it becomes natural. Because repetition is not boring. Repetition is a transformation. Every time you repeat, your brain becomes faster. Your mouth becomes more comfortable. And slowly, speaking becomes easier. Now, let us talk about something deeper, fear. Because if you're honest with yourself, fear is the real reason you are not speaking. It is not vocabulary. It is not grammar. It is the quiet voice in your mind that says, what if I'm wrong? And because of that voice, you stop before you even begin. But here is the truth. Fear does not come from English. Fear comes from pressure. The pressure to be correct, the pressure to sound perfect. And that pressure blocks your voice. But when you use simple English, something changes. Your mind becomes calm. Your brain feels safe. And when your brain feels safe, you can speak. That is why simple words are powerful. They do not just help you speak. They give you permission to try. And that is where confidence begins. Now let us understand confidence in a new way. Confidence does not come before speaking. Confidence comes after speaking. It grows from small actions, from simple sentences, from daily repetition. Think about a child. A child does not speak perfectly, but a child speaks freely because there is no fear, no pressure, and that is the mindset you need to build again. Many learners worry about what others will think, but the truth is simple. Most people are not judging you. Most people respect you for trying, and those who do not, they are not part of your journey. Because your goal is not to impress. Your goal is to express, to share your thoughts, to be understood. That is what language is for. So let us make this real. Start with something small. Speak a few sentences about your day, not in your head, out loud. It may feel uncomfortable at first. That is normal. But if you do it again tomorrow and again the next day, that discomfort will slowly disappear. And in its place, confidence will grow. Not suddenly, but steadily. Now remember this. Fluency is not about speaking fast. Fluency is about feeling comfortable when you speak. Because when you feel comfortable, you speak more. And when you speak more, you improve. That is the natural process. And here is one truth you must accept. You will never feel fully ready. No one does. Ready is not something you wait for. It is something you build by speaking. So do not wait. Start now. You do not need thousands of words. You only need the right words used again and again in real life. Speak slowly. Speak calmly. Speak every day. Because your goal is not to impress people. Your goal is to express yourself. Now, let me ask you one simple question. After this moment, will you go back to silence? Or will you take one small step forward? The choice is yours. If this lesson helped you, even a little, please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and stay with this journey. Thank you for listening. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.